Discover the spectral secrets and chilling legends within the walls of the Stanley Hotel. A journey into a ghostly history awaits. Welcome to a journey into the mysterious and haunting history of the Stanley Hotel, nestled near the entrance of Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. This colonial revival hotel has stood as an icon of luxury and eerie legends since its opening on July 4, 1909. Not only is it renowned for its opulence and breathtaking mountain views, but it's also famed as the inspiration for Stephen King's chilling novel, The Shining. In this video, we will unravel the fascinating tales that surround the Stanley Hotel, exploring its haunted reputation and notable paranormal hotspots. Let's begin. The hauntings of the Stanley Hotel. The Stanley Hotel is more than just a picturesque retreat. It's a place where reality blurs with the supernatural. As you delve into its history, you'll uncover a tapestry of mysterious events, unexplained occurrences, and spine-tingling encounters that have left believers and skeptics alike pondering the fine line between fact and fiction. Unveiling the haunted history. The Stanley Hotel has become synonymous with paranormal activity, and it's no surprise why. Over its long and storied history, a multitude of employees, guests, and even historians have encountered phenomena that are difficult to explain away. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, the hotel's reputation as one of the most haunted in Colorado, and perhaps the entire country, is hard to ignore. Investigating the supernatural. Intriguingly, the Stanley Hotel has played host to countless ghost hunting shows, documentarians, podcasters, and amateur ghost hunters, all seeking to capture evidence of the otherworldly. Their efforts have yielded a treasure trove of chilling encounters, from full-body apparitions and unexplained sounds to eerie paranormal pranks that have sent more than one guest fleeing in terror. The Vortex, a renowned paranormal focal point at the Stanley Hotel, drawing the attention of psychics from around the world, is the hotel's grand central staircase, affectionately known as the Vortex for many years. This majestic staircase serves as the connection between the hotel's lobby and the second-floor suites, and it is widely believed to be a conduit for paranormal activity, a tunnel of spiritual energy that is often cited as the reason why numerous ghosts and wandering spirits are drawn to linger within the confines of the Stanley Hotel. It's not solely the realm of psychics, however, as both guests and hotel employees have personal why encountered this haunted thoroughfare, resulting in a wealth of well-documented sightings over the years. A particularly recent and compelling incident involved a guest capturing a photograph of a young girl on the staircase, despite there being no such child present at the time. The clarity and persuasiveness of this image were so striking that it garnered national news attention. I encourage you to look it up and examine it for yourself, as many regard it as the most compelling evidence of the existence of the vortex. The Concert Hall. The Concert Hall, originally constructed by Stanley himself as a heartfelt present for his wife Flora, has become the stage for eerie, late-night performances. Evidently, Flora held a deep affection for the Steinway grand piano gifted to her by her husband on the hotel's opening day. She would frequent the hall, undeterred by the fact that a bowling alley for Stanley and his friends had been built beneath the stage. It appears that Flora's enduring passion for music lingers within the walls of the Stanley, as even in the present day, the strains of classical piano music can be heard emanating from the hall during the late hours, long after the musicians have departed and the guests have retired to their rooms. These spectral concerts have been well documented over the years, with a notable increase in occurrences since the Hall underwent renovations in 2000, solidifying its status as one of the most active paranormal sites in recent times. Some speculate that it is the spirit of Flora herself, ensuring that her guests continue to be entertained, or perhaps striving to preserve the timeless charm of the Stanley Hotel. The fourth floor. While the fourth floor might not be as famous as some other areas of the hotel, it more than makes up for it with its sheer volume of paranormal activity. Initially used as little more than an attic for winter storage, the fourth floor's history has since been transformed into a series of hotel suites. Visitors frequently recount tales of children playing in the halls late into the night, closet doors opening and closing by themselves, and personal belongings mysteriously vanishing, only to reappear neatly stowed away. Room 428 stands out as the most active, with reports of heavy footsteps, furniture rearranging itself, and the ghostly presence of a lone cowboy known as Rocky Mountain Jim. Room 217. Among the numerous haunting tales at the Stanley Hotel, none can rival the notoriety and allure of Room 217. In the early years of the hotel's existence, Room 217 bore witness to a harrowing incident that foreshadowed the hotel's ominous history. During a stormy Colorado night, as snowfall loomed, the head housekeeper, Mrs. Elizabeth Wilson, diligently lit acetylene lanterns throughout the hotel, anticipating a potential power outage. Unbeknownst to Mrs. Wilson, a gas leak had silently permeated the entire second floor, creating a perilous, flammable atmosphere. When she entered Room 217 and struck a match beneath the lamp, an explosion shook the hotel, obliterating the room, the corridor, and the floor beneath, sending her plummeting into the dining room below. Remarkably, no lives were lost in the blast, not even Mrs. Wilson's, who suffered little more than 2 broken ankles and a tale she would recount until her last breath. Nonetheless, the damage was done, and the legend began to take root, despite her survival. Many speculate that Mrs. Wilson, who eventually passed away at the ripe age of 90 in her Estes Park residence, remains attached to the room that brought her and the hotel such anguish. Their suspicions may hold merit, as guests staying in Room 217 have long reported personal items mysteriously rearranged and lights flickering on and off. Some unmarried couples have even sensed an icy presence wedged between their slumbering forms, offering evidence, they claim, of the watchful, old-fashioned spirit of Mrs. Wilson, scrutinizing any questionable behavior. While this narrative is compelling, Room 217 has etched its place in history through other means. Had it not been for the nightmares of a struggling young writer who spent a fateful night in the room, some of the most iconic characters, scenes, and themes in contemporary horror might never have been conceived. Stephen King and The Shining. In October 1974, the Stanley Hotel played a pivotal role in shaping the course of literary and cinematic history. A young Stephen King, accompanied by his wife Tabitha, booked a night in Room 217. What transpired that night would catalyze one of King's most iconic novels, The Shining. A vivid nightmare involving his son being pursued by a malevolent fire hose in the hotel's hallways became the seed for King's masterpiece. The novel, chronicling the harrowing experiences of an alcoholic writer and his family at a secluded Colorado resort, would go on to sell millions of copies worldwide and inspire Stanley Kubrick's iconic film adaptation. The Overlooking Terror. Although King's Overlook Hotel in The Shining was fictional, his terrifying experiences in Room 217 and the hotel's overall aura of haunting remained undeniably real. Room 217, along with the Stanley Hotel itself, continues to send shivers down the spines of those who visit, not only within the realm of fiction, but also in the very tangible world we inhabit. The historical roots. Before the Stanley Hotel graced the landscape of Estes Park, the site was occupied by the Estes Park Hotel, constructed in 1878 by Lord Dunraven, an Irish baronet seeking to bring a touch of sophistication to the American West. However, tragedy struck when a fire razed the hotel to the ground, leaving only ashes behind. The dream of blending luxury with the untamed wilderness would find a new champion in Freeland Oscar Stanley, an inventor and owner of the Stanley Steamer Car Company. Stanley, in his pursuit of a cure for tuberculosis, moved to Colorado and acquired the property. The result was a magnificent creation, the Stanley Hotel, that exceeded its predecessor in grandeur and opulence. Its doors opened on Independence Day weekend in 1909, swiftly establishing itself as a premier summer destination. As we conclude our exploration of the haunting history of the Stanley Hotel, it's evident that this enigmatic destination has transcended time, leaving an indelible mark on popular culture and the supernatural realm. From the infamous Room 217 to the vortex and the timeless influence on Stephen King, the Stanley Hotel continues to mystify and captivate audiences with its ghostly tales and enduring legacy. If you've enjoyed this video, please show your support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to our channel. Thank you for joining us on this haunting adventure.